have you been to Arkansas very much? I know you live in Tennessee now, but just what do you think about coming back and playing your dad's old school?
Oh, I think it's pretty full circle for me because my brother also went to school here in 2013. He was redshirted as a freshman. And like if someone were to have told me 4 years ago when I started this thing, it was that to get to Omaha, you guys have to go through Arkansas, I would have told them that they were lying. Like it's just unbelievable that I have to go up against my dad's alma mater and a school that both my parents and my brother love so much to get to where we want to go.
Is your family going to be able to come to the Super Regional? Are they here?
Yes, sir. I think they'll be getting in here. I want to say either tonight or tomorrow night. They'll definitely be here for the game.
Thanks.
Dudley, go ahead.
Just talk a little bit about this team and its start and how y'all been so hot here lately and what's kind of gone into that.
It was a really rough start for us. Like 1-8 to 4-9 was something that none of us really saw coming or really expected. But I felt like we really stuck together as a team and wanted to push each other and make sure that we knew we all inside knew how good we were and just knew that it's going to take time for us to make sure that we could get there. And to be on this postseason run that we're on is something that I think all of us saw coming. Like we knew that we could do it. We just had to make sure we stuck to it and stayed together.
Alec, go ahead.
Yeah, Terrell, you guys played in a really good atmosphere in Ruston last weekend. Now this weekend, it's, going to be a much bigger atmosphere than that even. JT Jarrett was on Packer and Durham on ACC Network yesterday and said he had kind of talked to you about, this being what you guys play for. How exciting is it to go into an atmosphere like this and know what you're going to get this weekend with all the fans?
I mean, it's one of a kind here, I would say. I've actually spent a lot of my time watching a lot of the Arkansas games and a lot of the SEC baseball games. So seeing the crowds that they all pull and to have, like all the fans that show up for them and day in and day out, no matter if they're playing well or not, is unbelievable. So to see that Arkansas is being ranked the #1 team unanimously throughout the whole season, like I just can't even imagine what this weekend's going to bring for us. To say the least, is excited is a word I would use. Like it's just going to be so much fun.
Do you feel like, for you guys, it's coming in here and getting to play in front of this atmosphere and be excited. Do you feel like it can almost be somewhat of an advantage for you guys knowing that you're going to have fun, you're going to play, and the kind of the pressure to perform in front of the fans falls on Arkansas, not necessarily on you?
I would have to say that I agree with that because like being that we weren't like, I don't like in my mind, the way that I think about it all is that no one expects us to come out of this super regional. So it's not really any pressure on us. We're just here to play baseball and play the game that we know and that we love and have as much fun as we can.
Matt Jones, go ahead.
I only caught the end of your comment about your dad playing here, but I wonder how much time have you spent in Fayetteville through your life? Did you come over growing up for football games in addition to the games when Terry was playing here?
So I came here the last time I was here was 8 years ago. So 2013. And then I didn't really make many trips up to Fayetteville at all growing up, actually.
Tom, go ahead.
Your pitcher, Johnston, is throwing tomorrow. Can you just describe his repertoire, what it's like when you're playing behind him?
It's a great feel when Reed gets on the mound because he's going to go out there and compete in the zone every single pitch. Like he's one of the most consistent guys that I've played with, one of the most consistent guys that I've seen come through this school. Like for me to know that Reed's going to go out there, I know that we're going to have a chance to win the ballgame.
And then briefly, their pitchers, Wicklander, a left-hander. You said you've seen a lot of them. Have you seen Wicklander?
I have not actually. I only saw a brief stint of Wicklander through the SEC tournament, but I have not seen much film on him yet.
Dudley, go ahead.
Did you have any thoughts of coming here to play, or did you want to kind of chart your own path?
I've always wanted to do my own thing, I would say, but if they would have come knocking on my door, I would have definitely had it as an option in the back of my mind, but no one from here came looking for me.
Don't see any other hands or have any other messages. Any other questions? Yeah, Hutch, go ahead.
To kind of follow up on that, I mean, the fact that Arkansas didn't recruit you with your brother and your dad playing here, does that maybe give you a chip on your shoulder for this weekend at all?
I would have to say no, not at all. It doesn't really bother me at all. I don't think much of it.
Joe, go ahead.
Terrell, I just want to know how excited you guys are to be there and to have a chance, two wins away from Omaha. How does it feel?
It's one of the greatest feelings that actually ever been a part of, because through the past 4 years that I've been here, I've made it to 2 regionals minus last year that we weren't able to play through. So being those 2 regionals, and the first year we lost the opening game, and then in Greenville we went 0-2, and it was like those 2 feelings were just unbelievable. And we were just pressing really. I felt like we were pressing really hard to get out of the regional, and I felt like this year it was a lot more like we just went into the regional to play baseball rather than to make it out of the regional. So it took a lot of the pressure off of us, and we just went out and played the game that we love.
And I have one more follow-up. I've heard Elliott say over and over again this year how special you guys are and how much he loves this team, maybe in comparison to some others that he's had. Why do you think he continues to tell you guys that? What do you think it is?
I think it's him being honest. For me personally, and I think that I don't want to speak for the other guys on the team, but for the guys that I've played with for the past 4 years, I think that we all agree that this is one of our favorite teams that we've been on. Like for me personally, this is my favorite team over the past 4 years. Like I've never been closer to the guys on the team as I am now. Like I couldn't imagine what it would have been like if we weren't as close as we were.
Thanks.
Matt Jones, go ahead.
I'd imagine if you've watched Arkansas much, you've seen Kevin Kopps pitch some. What have been your impressions of him, and how do you prepare for that pitch that he throws?
My impression is that he's really good. He's shown that he's one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the country. And especially to do it out of the bullpen, which I think is so much harder for guys because they don't really know when they're going to pitch. So it's a lot tougher for them. And for him to come out of the bullpen every time that he's called upon and to shut teams down is unbelievable. And for us to prepare for that is we'll go back and probably watch some film on him and the starters and figure out an approach for what we're going to do for him that day.
Anybody else? All right, we'll go ahead and third. Oh, wait, Alec, go ahead. Last one.
Yeah. Terrell, I don't know if we've talked to you in a couple weeks, but you were obviously named first team All ACC. For you, how cool was that for you to get that after, 4 years now of hard work?
It was one of the better feelings I've had being here. I'm not really into accolades or anything like that, but I would say that to be named on the first team All ACC shows that the work is it shows more than just the performance. You see that people are putting in hard work. Saying that McDonough wasn't named first team All-American, first team All-ACC, which I thought that he should have been, shows that even though you put in the work and you have the numbers, it's not always about. It's just sometimes about different things. I would say Johnny Butler is another thing to say. Johnny has had an unbelievable year, and I feel like he's been looked over the whole year, and I feel like that Johnny should be in the eyes of a lot more people, I would say.